Hey, what's up guys, it's Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video. Today we're going to be talking about some things that Scott Mercer, the principal designer of Overwatch, has been talking about on Seagull's interview with him. Some things compiled from forums and some just very interesting competitive Season 6 changes that are going to be looking to fix a lot of the issues that people in the community have been complaining about. There's also a couple of things in here you may not be so happy about either, so let me know to anything that you guys think to any of the stuff I say. Before we get into it, I just want to say that a lot of this stuff he said he can't talk about super in depth until they can talk about Season 6, but they will be talking about it soon. A lot of this stuff is heavily hinted at, or he stops and pretty much says he cannot talk about it any more in depth than he already has. We do know they are going to be making changes to the adjustments that affect one-tricking and how it's easier to one-trick and rank up on certain heroes. They've admitted that they know this is a problem and it is worse with some heroes. In fact, Sombra seems to be one of the worst offenders still. Just the other day, I even ran into a 30% win rate Sombra at the Grand Masters level. So any changes to this, I think, working on the one-trick problem is going to make a big difference to how Overwatch plays. I don't think it will ever be completely eradicated, but any way to see less one-tricks more often, I think is the way we want to go. And also, of course, not boosting one-tricks that have very poor win rates because their stats seem like they should be good. That's something they will be addressing, and hopefully they're going to put some kind of a win rate threshold on the rank you can get to. I think that that would be one really cool way to do that. Speaking of rank, it looks like they're going to be making some decay changes, but that is all we know on this subject. There was nothing else said. He said he can't talk about it, but there's something coming with decay changes. We don't know what it is. We don't know if the threshold will change so that only GMs or only masters have to play a certain amount of games per week. But to be honest, decay doesn't make a lot of sense for a lot of reasons, and the main one is that if you do decay all the way down to diamond and you were a GM player before, you're still at the same MMR, so when you search, you'll be in the same ranked games. The only thing it really does is stop people just staying in top 500, but besides that, it doesn't actually make that much of a difference. So I wouldn't be surprised if they nearly completely removed it. We'll have to see where they go with that. The next part is probably the most important, because lately a big community subject has been the role selection that Valkyria made, and a lot of people kicked off and said that this couldn't work because it would lock certain heroes and it wouldn't be fair, and a lot of people really assumed the worst of that role selection that he'd put forward, even though it was simply just a nice little graphic to show how maybe you could search based on your preference, but it wouldn't necessarily lock you into a specific class set, as Scott Mercer has admitted even in this interview that the classes don't necessarily line up to the true role of the hero, as most heroes are actually hybrids. However, what he does say is that they want to do it so that more people, when you get into a game, have workable team comps, and this will also address the toxicity behind the scenes regarding hero role select. So I think what they're going to be doing, if I had to take a guess at this, is that when you search for a game, you won't actually select what hero you want to play, but I would assume that the matchmaker is more likely going to look at what you play and then put you in a game with people based on what they play. So maybe 3 out of your 5 top heroes are supports, well then maybe you're likely going to fill support, so it'll put you in a game with a couple of DPS players. The only issue with this, of course, is if there's too many people that their top 5 are DPS, but this is only my speculation on this point. He has not said specifically what it will be, but they are addressing not role selection. I don't think that's going to be a thing, but they are definitely looking at getting into games where you have a more workable team comp more often, which will reduce the toxicity in Overwatch games. Let me know what you guys think to that. Another thing he touched upon was MMR reset, which people have been looking for a very long time, and I can pretty much confirm, guys, that that is not going to be something that they are going to do. The reason is because it would effectively just create the same problems. It would just be a mess for a month. Everyone would line out in the same place, because one thing that the matchmaker does do is get you on a fairly good place where you are mechanically on the heroes that you're currently playing. So an MMR reset would eventually get everyone back to the same place. In fact, what we really need are tweaks to the SR system, just like the things that I've already mentioned. Things like having decent win rates to get to better ranks, and things like having workable team comps more often. Something that was brushed upon but a little bit confusing as well is that there are apparently some more 2CP changes coming, but these changes also affect other maps. So we're just going to talk about the objective, and the objective will refer to any 2CP any point you capture on King of the Hill, and any payload. And apparently, the more people that are attacking the objective, that are on that objective and getting kills actively, the less spawns the defensive side will get. They're adjusting the thresholds on this accordingly quite often, and it looks like they're going to be doing it in the next patch too. And they want to get it to a place where stalling is still a thing, and it's possible for you to have these really exciting stall matches, but at the same time, they don't want 3-minute stalls like you can get in some games currently. So this is something that they're trying to work out still, and we'll be getting more of sometime soon. Something else he said he cannot talk about at all is competitive season rewards for Season 6. You guys are going to have to speculate on that, but there's nothing else to say. He's also mentioned that eventually, if they feel like they have too many maps, they may have map rotations in certain seasons where maps they may work on or simply just drop out of the maps because there's too many. However, they do not feel like they will be doing this yet. They are doing it at the competitive and the pro level. They're not going to be doing it in matchmaking on the game. The last thing to talk about is solo queue and 6 stacking ranked modes or search options, and it doesn't look like this is going to be coming either. They said originally they talked about solo queue and they actually thought the game would probably be a full 6 stack game all the time. They've gone with the current system and it seems like they're sticking to it for a very long time. If you want to play in 6 stacks, you are always going to be up against either another 6 stack or a much higher level of solo queue opponents. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Hopefully we'll be getting that Face It, but we don't know anything about that other than the fact that they are trying to work on it with Blizzard. So hopefully one day we can all 6 stack and not be punished for it, but we honestly don't know where that's going to go. So guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Eradicating just the one tricks and the fact that you cannot get a team comp in some games, I think is the biggest issue that they're definitely addressing, and I can't wait for it. The reporting system, which I didn't mention, is also, of course, getting ongoing changes so that you can report people more often, although I do not think you can report them for one tricking, as that can easily be abused. But hopefully we'll get to the place we want it to be in the end. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to check out our Twitter and our Discord, where you guys can find the Junkrat main of your dreams. Be sure to hit that bell icon so you guys get notified when our videos go live. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.